Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Marissa, and we are going to do today's news channel today's news. This is my
There you
dad
are.
here with me right now,
Hey,
and
everybody.
got some crazy stuff to talk about, I guess, because of something that we watched yesterday. We watched the what was it the Trump's New York speech.
Yeah, and we also watched Kamala Harris at the National Association of Black Journalists.
Yes,
And so you did channeling. We didn't watch the whole thing of either one. We just took a snippet, like maybe a 2 minute, 3 minute when they were speaking, and to see what Marissa saw around them. I did notice that Jesus was around Trump, but he wasn't around Kamala.
she had the Holy Spirit in her.
She had the Holy Spirit come down into her, but you said it was only there for a couple minutes.
But what I rewatched the show yesterday because I was so psychotic, and I'm still kind of psychotic over what I was seeing. I went through the same thing during COVID, and everybody thought I was crazy. And I kept saying either Trump's got a clone, or like they've got like. I mean, I just started sounding completely insane because every time I'd see him in the Rose Garden, he didn't have an aura. It was almost like somebody had like a rubber Trump suit on or something, and like there was no aura. Like there was like when I see somebody, think of like a street light with fog around it, and you see like the mist coming out from like the street lamp. Hi, Lucky. And this poor injured dog is trying to get up here. There you go, Lucky. There, sit. Okay. You see like the mist coming off the street lamp. That's kind of how I see people. They have like kind of like mist coming off of them a little bit, and that's their spirit. And when people aren't people, like you see like an animation on TV or AI or something, they don't have that stuff coming off of them. They don't have like the mist because there's no spirit inside of them. And so when we didn't know about AI during COVID. I mean, we kind of knew about it, but we didn't know about it like to the point that like, I could very easily in the next 10 minutes create a avatar of myself, just take a couple pictures, talk to the thing, click, 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 and take a transcript of one of my meditations, copy and paste it into the AI, and then you would see me leading a meditation. My words, everything. Oh, this is gonna die. My words and everything, and that's just where we are technologically. I mean, I could do it that fast. I did take a class on it, but I mean, it wasn't like it was like some complicated hard class. It was just a marketing class on how to use AI. So it's very, very easy. So imagine what the government has. Imagine what Elon Musk has. Like what people have access to that we don't even know exists yet. And so now looking back on COVID, saying like that's not Trump, that's somebody else, that's a clone, or that's something. He doesn't have an aura. I'm like, oh, duh, it was AI. Like, and then people say, but he was in front of people, and there's all these people filming everything. Where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he was there talking, and they took him out and put an AI. I have no idea. I don't know the reasons why I'm seeing what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing something very similar now. Like when we watched the New York thing, I swear that was a hologram. I swear he was a hologram and he was somewhere else, and they're trying to keep him safe so he doesn't die or something like that. I can't figure it out. But where I usually see the guides coming in and where I see usually Lucifer coming in over on the other side, I saw something that said static IP. And I was like, what is that? And then I heard a hologram. And then you talked about the Hispanic people that were sitting behind him that had burning eyes. And I heard nitrous oxide. And I was like, is there like chemicals coming off of him because he's a hologram or whatever? So then last night I looked up on Google. I said, are there holograms that look real, or can somebody project in from somewhere else with a hologram? And they said there's laser technology now that you can shake the hand of somebody that's like a hologram. And so then my dad said, well, actually Celine Dion's been doing that with what, Elvis in Vegas.
Elvis Presley. I think they've even done them with like Frank Sinatra and other artists who have passed away, and they have the technology to do that. Excuse me.
I'd like to watch that. Actually, pull that up and see.
Just type in Celine Dion with Elvis Presley.
Okay, let me do that real quick. I want to see that. Let me see it. My camera's not off.
While you're looking that up, let me state one thing here. Give you my opinion. Remember, as we sat around in 2020, going, what's going on? What is God allowing this to happen? I mean, this is crazy. We all just wondered what the heck is going on. And then the election came, and at 11 o'clock at night, Trump had won the presidency. But by 6 o'clock in the morning, he had lost it. And it was insane. It caused people to just go crazy. I mean, like in Pennsylvania, is up by like 800,000 votes in Pennsylvania. And by the morning, he was down 300,000. And it was like, what? And they had closed, these battleground states or whatever had decided they would close their counting for like 3 hours, shut everything down or whatever. And then all of a sudden we see these big F curves, the F curves where they come up and, so anyway, it's gradual, 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 gradual. And then all of a sudden the bottom one goes whoop straight up. And then, so anyway, so we were asking this question, what the heck is going on? I mean, is this strictly man-made? Is God involved? Is Satan involved? What the heck is going on here? I think, personally, this is just my feeling. And remember, we were told that in late 2014 that the white horse energy of Revelation had come in. And we know that each horse runs for 7 years. So from 2014 to 2021 would be peace and prosperity. The end of 14, beginning of 15. And then until the end of 21, starting 22. The red horse came in. So, we're discussing all this while that pandemic and everything's going on. We just can't figure out, is this a God thing or is this a devil thing? And recently I responded to actually a family member on Facebook. I said, I think what happened was we know that there's this spiritual battle. Everybody's spiritual battle. We know it's spiritual battle, God versus Satan. And I think God pulled a fast one. I really think God pulled a fast one on everybody because he made it so that Trump would lose. And that, of course, pissed everybody that voted for Trump off and exhilaration for anybody that wanted Biden in there. But I think it was touch and go there. I mean, the supply chains were a mess. Food processing plants were blowing up. We were running out of diesel fuel all over the place. I didn't even think we'd get to a 2022 election. But everything was a mess. But I think what happened was God's played a trick on Satan. And he knew he could get us up to 2024. We didn't think we'd get there. But by allowing Biden to come in, Satan has been exposed. I mean, the American people didn't know their government was this corrupt. They didn't know that it was our government that was getting themselves involved in all the countries around the world and causing revolutions and coups and all this other stuff. And it turns out it's our CIA, for trying to defend or grow democracy in places that don't, leave them alone. Let them do their own thing. So the American people have gotten to see just how corrupt our government is. And not just the government, but, corporations and individuals, a lot of individuals, our entertainment industry, how they're all tied together. I mean, look at this Combs guy. Oh my God, he's going to be worse than the Epstein thing. There's going to be a lot of problems coming from Mr. Sean P. Diddy getting nailed yesterday or the day before by the feds.
Puff Daddy?
What's that?
What happened to Puff Daddy?
He was arrested.
Huh.
He's not only arrested, he's in prison in New York in the worst one. Marissa, you want to come back on if I'm going to communicate with you?
Yeah. Wait, I just heard as a rapist. Wait, I had no idea anything was going on with Puff Daddy. I haven't heard that name in forever, since back when Jason was alive. We used to listen to that music.
When they raided his house to get all his computers and everything, they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. They found 700 dildos. He was having these parties called not a rave, freak, like a freak out or something like that. And I guess they're just big sex parties. And but he was taping them all so he could use them for blackmail and all this other stuff, which was like what Epstein was doing. So anyway, the feds got it all, and they arrested him a couple of days ago. He offered $50 million as bail.
Wow.
They wouldn't even take his 50 million. They put him in a jail that is like the worst jail in New York.
Wow.
So they're saying he's gone from waking up in the morning with somebody giving him a back massage and somebody else bringing him this protein shake and just being, he's a billionaire. He's a
Yeah.
billionaire. And
Nice.
just being catered to hand and foot and whatever. Now he's in a place where he has to eat cold meatloaf with dry peas and whatever. And so he's forced. Plus, um, he's in there with the most hardened criminals.
Well, those
So
guys
that
were all criminals, and they just got famous, and that was like Notorious B.I.G.'s group or whatever. The guy that died, and
yeah,
that's actually, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because you know what? The
what
Notorious B.I.G. and the Tupac thing that
yeah.
happened way back in like the 90s, and it sucked so many people. I mean, I still remember like East Coast, West Coast, baby, like yeah, and I was like, yeah, West Coast. It's like I'm some like preppy Encinitas beach girl, like driving around in my like Altima, like with the seat tilted back and my beanie on and my cigarette, thinking that I'm some like rap star or something like that. It's like the way that the media affects children is just like insane. And I remember like, oh, I hate the East Coast. We're the West Coast. Like people that are my age, born in the 70s, are probably like laughing because they're probably the same way, or they're probably like, oh, you're so lame. But whatever. Like a whole generation of us were lame because it was like no, we're on Tupac's side because he's from LA, baby. Like East, whatever. And it's like I remember listening to the Machiavelli, Machiavelli album, which was Tupac, and they used to say no, Tupac's really alive. So they trying to turn Tupac into kind of like a Christ type of person, where he's actually alive. And I remember thinking after the fact, after all that happened, I remember thinking about 10 years ago, I wonder if that was all just a big act. I wonder if they were all just friends because they were friends because apparently Tupac slept with Notorious B.I.G.'s wife. So all their songs were like, I effed your wife. Yeah, come get me. Like, just kind of like fighting back and forth and like they were all friends and then they weren't. And so Sean Combs, I think, was the producer for Notorious B.I.G. and they're like best friends. So he got famous off of the All Me Missing You song that Police sings or whatever, and he remixed it. And Faith Evans or Faith Hill or something like that sang it at the music awards. But I just remember that was like the biggest thing, and everybody was so like into it. Like it was like this like whole like cultural thing. I think you guys, if anybody else understands what I'm saying, comment in the comment section. But it's like it was this whole thing, and like just like with the politics and like everyone getting swept into no, I'm with Trump or no, I'm with Kamala or I'm with this. It's like we can't help as human beings to get sucked into these tribes and like to want to belong and like be a part of. And I just remember thinking about 10 years ago, something like, I wonder if that was just all made up. And then the guide said, it was probably about 6 years ago. And I remember because me and Sue talked about it, or me and someone talked about it a lot. They said, anytime the planet's getting to a point where the vibration's getting high enough to where human beings can become these sovereign beings, where we become our God self, where we can manifest anything we want at any time and just think, okay, I need $10,000. Bam. Oh, there it is. Someone just sent me 10 grand. It's like once we get to the like the point where we're just about there, they released something like the Night Stalker. They said the Night Stalker. So they put the Night Stalker out on TV everywhere. Oh, this Night Stalker is going to come kill you and your family in the middle of the night. And maybe it was real, but when do they choose to just blast something out to all the news channels, to everything, to make it like just hit all points to scare people? Remember the Night Stalker? It was the creepiest picture. It was a hand sketched guy. Remember it was
Not
when
me. No. I rarely watch TV. I was always
no,
listening
no, no. It was when we were
to
it was in the
Padre.
80s. It was in the 80s. I remember I was at Parkdale Lane and the Night Stalker was a serial killer. And they had him
Oh
all over.
yeah. I remember that. Sure.
Yeah. So the guide said that was one point where the planet was getting to the point where we were going to ascend. And then they brought the Night Stalker in. They said the other time that we were about to ascend was when they said, and I'm sure it happened, but I'm not sure, that teacher blew up in space. The teacher went
Yeah.
into space and she blew up.
Sally Ride. Wasn't it Sally Ride? Wasn't that her
I
name?
don't remember her name. I just remember watching it in class. We were all
Yeah.
watching the space rocket take off and it exploded. I was
Yeah.
in class watching that. But
Every student in the United States was watching that
we were all
because she
watching
was a school
it.
teacher. So you can imagine how traumatized Every single student was.
And I wanted to be an astronaut because Punky Brewster wanted to be an astronaut because on that show, Punky Brewster.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think about like the way that the media is and the way that we get sucked into like, oh, all the kids want to be an astronaut like Punky Brewster now. And then Punky Brewster's watching it on TV. They did like an episode about that. And it's just interesting if you think about it, that these two guys, these people that are in charge of the media are up there at the top going, okay, let's run the footage of the thing blowing up. But just think back in the 80s, I'm sure they had AI then too. I'm sure they had AI. I'm sure they had everything that they have right now. We just didn't know. Just like there's this movie that's called what was it? It's not the Man in the might be Man in the High Castle, where it's Hitler has little microphones in everyone's homes, but nobody knows about microphones at that point, you know, and at the end of the movie, it shows like all these people getting arrested. And what they realize is, oh my gosh, we've been bugged this entire time. And now people are getting arrested for all these little things they said in their homes. And, you know, we're all bugged. I'm bugged with Tesla, with my Tesla car. I mean, everything that I'm doing is being taped. I mean, who knows? That's probably all just going into a big vat somewhere. And then, you know, it's not like I'm doing anything illegal other than speeding a lot. But other than that, like, you know, it's like our phones are spying on us. Our phones are listening to everything that we're saying.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's in the news. Tucker Carlson is on a 1-month tour around the United States, and in each town he's going to, he has different guests. It's on YouTube. You can find it. And yesterday or day before, it was RFK. Robert F. Kennedy was on there. And he said, let me tell you, if you don't think that they're watching you, he said, this is what happened to my wife and I. We were in bed the other night, and we realized that our mattress is getting a little bit lumpy. And so we were talking about, you know, maybe we should go get another mattress, whatever. They never talked about mattresses. They never shopped for mattresses. They're just, you know, in the thought of, no, you know, yeah, we need to get rid of this one. Let's get another one. This is Robert Kennedy. 2 days ago. You can look at, just go to Tucker Carlson on the road. I think they were in, they might have been in Arizona. I'm not sure. Or Utah, somewhere around there. Anyway. So Kennedy says, hilarious. Not only on his phone, but on his wife's phone. When they got up in the morning, they had each of them, I think, had 3 ads for mattress stores. Did I lose you? Marisa,
sorry, I didn't realize. Yeah, you know what's really funny? What Jeff and his friends do at work is they walk by.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I'm laughing because Jeff and his friends at work walk by and say like really like you know, funny things into each other's phones, and then Jeff gets a lot of kind of like gay ads on his phone. He's like men in little Speedos on his Instagram feeds. I'm going like, what's up with your Instagram? Like, what's up with your ads? And him and his friends at work will mess with each other because they know that someone's listening. So they'll say things near each other's phones, like to mess with each other. And then they'll get like an ad for something on their phone. And it's true. Yeah. Jeff's phone listens. Mine, all I ever get is ads for failed course creators. And I'm like, well, you know, I've got this course and I've never launched it.
But can you imagine? I mean, this is Robert F. Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his phone, people are listening to his conversations with his wife in bed late at night.
Well, I think it's AI. I think it's AI is
well, yeah, it's
from
AI is listening and going, oh, they're talking mattresses. Okay, here, let's we got Jerry's mattress store right around the corner. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you get an ad for Jerry's mattress store. I know it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
The world. Talk about something and then you'll get an ad for it. It's like the targeted marketing. And I mean, that's all comes down to the owner of Facebook and like the Meta or whatever is like, he's got to be like sharing that information. I don't know. So my thing is like for us to think that, no, Trump is that's Trump. Like Jeff gets like highly offended. He's like, you sound insane. Like basically like, don't say this on air today. You sound crazy because I swear that, and that's why we're going to watch a couple of the things with Trump in it. I want to see if I see the same thing. Like I can't say that was really him or not him. Jeff, and then Jeff shows me a picture of his friend Jim that was with Trump last week. He's like, Trump is real. I said, I didn't say Trump wasn't real. I think Trump is very real. I just think that he's trying to stay safe. And if he can project in from another place, like be standing somewhere at a podium talking to like no one, nobody in the stadium. I mean, him and Kamala met and there was nobody there. Why'd they do that? There's usually an audience, isn't there?
It was part of the rules for the debate. Did you find the Celine Dion with
I'm sorry. There's
Elvis
probably
Presley?
you said the Puff Daddy thing, and I got all off on the tangent. But the point is, the rocket thing, the Night Stalker, that East Coast West Coast war. That's just kind of like 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 how they like the George Floyd thing. It's like they try and pull us into like our color or our religion or whatever to try and clump us, because when we're clumped, we're not sovereign God beings. We can't be like our I am presence. We can't be Christ. Let me see YouTube, Celine Dion.
Celine Dion with Elvis Presley.
So Celine Dion, there was a girl that came to my class the other night, and it's
hey
crazy.
Folks, like and subscribe if you want to see this. This is different. I don't think you're going to find this on many podcasts of channeling the news. One thing I have to tell you, though, is we've been doing this we've written many, many books. And so we've been doing this for a long time. But one thing that we learned when we were introduced to Jesus was we're not going to give you prophecy. We're not going to we'll give you an idea of what's going on around you, but we're not going to give you prophecy. Otherwise, you're going to end up like somebody, a witch. Like in a past life, Marisa, you were a witch and you were burned at the stake. Because of your abilities. So for those out there, we're not going to tell you, okay, next Thursday is going to be happening. That's not going to happen. In fact, when you first started doing this, I remember that you had the ability to pick all the winners in a horse race. You did it just for fun.
Oh, I got 8 numbers right in a row at roulette, and we were in Vegas the other night. I went to the Strip, and I got 8 times in a row. I was correct. And what's crazy, I didn't bet though, because I don't like betting. But I called it. I was like, Jeff, it's going to be. I was calling the lane. I'm like, it's going to be in the lane of 7 black or whatever. And then I'm like, oh wait, people are betting on that one. I was like, wait, no, they just changed it. It just changed. So I think roulette has magnets or something, because like
probably
betting on that number. And then oh wait, no, it's going to be 23, whatever. And he's like, okay, but it wouldn't be 23. It'd be in the line. So I was getting it like in the, if you get the 2-1. So every 8 times in a row. And then we left because Jeff was tired, but I got it right every single time. It was like, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, but you're going to get some bad karma if you start.
If I bet money, then I would have lost all my money. The guys would have been like, "No, you're not meant to win a bunch of money in Vegas. That's using your abilities for the wrong reasons." Okay, here's the Elvis thing. Oh wait.
Yeah, we'll get into some politics, but yeah, play it for a while. See if you can see anything.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Year she was born, 1968, to sing with the man who is and always will be the world's greatest idol. Ready? Here we go.
There must be lights burning brighter somewhere.
Got to be birds flying higher in the sky more blue.
Static IP address. Static IP address. I'm seeing it again.
Keep it playing for a while.
I'm freaking out because I'm seeing this.
Oh, I don't want it on American Idol. These are other people. Do Celine Dion.
No.
These are people who have already used this, and this is go back.
So is this because we're watching it on the internet then?
Well, you just stopped and it says American Idol. Celine Dion didn't do this on American Idol. This was long ago.
This is them though, but still.
This is still Celine. I think it's copycat. I think it's copycat people.
That's her. Here, I can do it to another one, but
it might be them. Isn't there another one?
If I can hear Celine Dion, 1974 in Vegas. Celine Dion singing at Olympics.
Celine Dion with Elvis Presley.
Celine Dion, Elvis Presley.
Well, maybe that was it. But it wasn't on American
I
Idol.
wonder if, let's see, Celine Dion live performance with.
Go down to the Elvis one. Get out of there. Go down.
Okay.
Scroll up.
Scroll up. I'm already
Yeah,
at the top.
Okay, we'll go down. You'll see a picture of Elvis in there. Go back. Okay, now go back up. There's 3. Stop. Isn't Elvis in there? In one of those? No. Okay, I thought I saw Elvis.
Yeah, he was in this one. Let me see.
No, go back down. Go back down a little farther.
Oh.
A little farther. Oh, that wasn't Elvis. Oh God, I thought I saw Elvis in there. Okay.
Oh,
well,
here. Right here. In the sky. Yeah, this.
If I can dream of a better land, we're all my brothers. What can you tell me why? Oh, why can't my dream come true? Oh, why?
This is a really bad copy. This is somebody up in the stands filming it. Yeah. That I would like to see them up closer to see if they actually get to a point where it looks like they touched. That's what we were talking about. Where we get to the point where, and you're saying that they've had this technology a long time ago, and I said because Celine Dion was doing it. That's a bad one. That's a bad copy.
Yeah,
that's somebody up in the stands just videotaping and then putting it up on YouTube. I was hoping there would something more professional.
Yeah, American Idol, Elvis and Celine Dion.
Wouldn't be American Idol because it didn't happen on American Idol.
You probably went on American Idol to sing. Oh, here with this.
No, it's other.
Here we go.
What is that? No, that's still American.
Oh. This is Celine Dion and Elvis. They're both holograms, and they're singing on American Idol. This says hologram. Celine Dion with Elvis Presley, American Idol.
All right, you can try that.
Let's see. Are those holograms or is that real?
There must be lights burning bright somewhere.
Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue.
If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, why can't my dream come true?
There must be peace and understanding sometime.
Strong winds of promise that will blow away all the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun,
I don't think they're going to get close.
So this says if you're referring to the 2007 American Idol finale, there was indeed a famous moment when Celine Dion performed a duet with Elvis Presley through a hologram-like effect. In this instance, Elvis appeared as a projection alongside Celine Dion. So he's a projection. However, this wasn't a true hologram, but a virtual duet created by CGI and special effects to make it seem as though he was present on stage. What's CGI?
Yeah, that's why I say it's just tech geniuses that have been able to master this. They've even done it using what's the guy's who's the judge on American Idol? Used to be American Idol. Simon Cowell. There's a guy that literally had Simon Cowell up on stage singing, and it was like, but it wasn't Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell was sitting in a chair, being a judge, and yet he was up on the stage singing. So,
my question is,
I wanted to go to the old one, the original. Celine. They're going, oh, remember the famous, and this is what we can do with CGI now or whatever. But anyway, okay, let's get it.
Computer generated. So how do we know that it said static IP address? So I'm seeing the word static IP when they're doing some sort of computer generated image. So Trump at the New York thing was a computer generated image. But then there's a bunch of people there that say that they saw him. So what did he do? Go out and then like the computer? It's like it's blowing my. I'm trying to figure it out. So I want to ask the guides, but my mind may be way too wrapped around it because it's just too. It's so trippy to see. It's just going like, okay,
we'll go to something a little bit less. That was at a rally actually, and there are a lot of people there and whatever. Go to Trump with Israel conference. That was yesterday.
Okay.
He went and spoke to a lot of Jews. Don't forget, Jews are God's people.
According to the book.
Yeah, according to the book, the Bible is a history book of the Jews. That's really what it boils down to.
According to the book that the Jews wrote, the Bible.
Yeah, it's the Jews that wrote the Bible. Simple as that. And they feel that they are the chosen people, and I believe they are. Anyway, but Trump was upset because he had put together the Abraham Accords during his administration, which brought 3 Muslim nations from the Middle East and opened up embassies with Israel. I mean, just blew everybody away. If it was anybody else that had done that, other than Trump, they'd have won 3 Nobel Peace Prizes. And but of course, it was Trump, so nobody would even talk about it because everybody hates him so much in the deep state. So anyway, he said he did that. Not only did he do that, but he worked with them to have, so they had all those missiles that would shoot down, incoming missiles.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, he did all that, and and then he opened up the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem. Every president since 1948 has said that they were going to do that, and none of them have done it, and he ended up doing it. So what you're going to see in this speech to the Israeli conference, can you find it? Just type in Trump 9/19/20. Trump 9/19/20 conference.
Okay. 20 hours ago, full speech. President Trump speaks at the IAC.
Yeah, Israeli Action Committee or something like that. So bring yourself back on again while you're talking. Anyway, what he was there for was to let them know that he knows that before in the 2016 election, he got 25% of the Jewish vote. And then after everything he did leading up to 2020, in 2020, he only got 29%. He had only picked up 4% after everything he did for Israel. He said, what's with you people? And then in the latest polls, it shows that it has come up. He's now at 40. But there's still 60% of the Jews are going to vote for someone who's against Israel, who is for Hamas and the Palestinians, which is Kamala Harris. He's going, what's the deal? I mean, seriously. I mean, you got to have your head examined. So anyway, he's going to say that. Can't you scroll through there? Go all the way up of it. She talks for like about 10 or 15 minutes. So scroll all the way up and just scroll up until you see. There you go. Okay. Now just start right there.
War to obliterate the Jewish state and drive Jews out of the Holy Land. That's what they want to do. They want to drive Jews out of the Holy Land, and they are not forgiving people. You found that out on October 7th. By the way, when Trump was president, you had no problems, did you? None. You had no problems. Ever think of that? I wanted to tell Israel that numerous times during the presidency, but I didn't want to do that and then have something bad happen. But nothing bad was going to happen. They didn't have the money to prosecute the war. Nothing was going to happen. We had everything in check.
His higher self is above him.
And by the way, Russia would have never attacked Ukraine either, just so you know. We wouldn't have had inflation. We wouldn't have had that horrible situation in Afghanistan where we lost 13 great soldiers.
That's actually him.
Where
Okay,
$85
good.
million worth of brand new, beautiful military equipment that I bought. Beautiful stuff. I bought, and they
See if
gave it
Samuel
away.
or Peter or Jesus or
Beautiful,
somebody
beautiful
like that
stuff.
comes in.
They're just
We
saying,
wouldn't have that, and we left American hostages behind. Remember that.
okay, so let me see without having to listen to everything. Let me see. Yeah, it's him. It's physically him. That's his higher self above him. That's him below. Yeah, it's him. But
Okay.
let me go back. I want to go back to the New York thing real quick that we were watching yesterday. And it's a New York Trump. What is that rally?
Yeah, it's a rally, New York Trump rally. 9.
See, he's shaking people's hands, so he's real. I mean, obviously, is
We'll
he shaking?
show it. I can't see anything. You're not.
Oh, you can't see it. Oh, sorry.
No. Put it up on. Put it up on the screen.
There we go.
Can you turn up the sound a little bit?
Yeah, so it looks like he's shaking hands.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Turn it up.
Okay.
Turn up the volume.
I know I need to find the volume button here.
There you go. Okay. Well, louder if you can.
Okay.
Wow. This is a big crowd. This is a big crowd. Thank you very much, everybody.
Boy, that's
Thank you very much, everybody, and a very big hello to New York and a place called Long Island, which I know very well.
Was he shaking Bill's hands at the beginning? Let me see. No, he's not.
Wow. This is a big crowd. This is a big crowd.
Let me see. Where are we?
Is it mine or yours? You can't get the volume up any louder.
What the hell do you have
Nice.
to lose? I said that same thing. And you know what happened? I got eviscerated when I went backstage. But I'm not like Biden where he takes it. I fight back with my people. Remember, we still signed the check.
Okay, I see Fed above him, and then over here to the side, to his right, I see the Jesus character, but like the hologram, like I used to see, like when we were channeling, and I'd see like a hologram of Jesus, and then over there I see the static IP address, and then behind him I see like almost like a wall or something.
So he's got from what you see, you can see his higher self is there, or
no,
it's the
it's
Holy
really
Spirit.
not here,
Holy
not
Spirit.
here, not the news, not the New York thing. Israeli.
The Israeli.
Above him. This one, it says Fed above him.
Okay.
FED. And then way above the Fed, I see Elon Musk.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna ask the guy. Let's ask the guy real quick. Let me turn this off real quick. Okay. So I want to ask the guides.
There you go.
Like why? Okay.
Take
Heavenly
me off.
God, Christ, Holy Spirit, please just remove my mind from this. Remove my brain from this, because I want to know. I want to understand why I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Calling in my guides, angels, teachers, Papa's guides and angels and teachers, and anyone or anything that's in here that could be messing with my mind or messing with the messages coming through. We just ask that God, you keep them away. Calling in our angels, the angels that can keep anything away that's not supposed to be here, and just ask that anything that's fallen not have any access to my mind, to my body, to my soul, to my spirit. Calling in my 5D self and higher aspects of self to come in and channel through me now. Amen. Okay, so see the Holy Spirit right in front of me. I see like a little Christ ball right above that. It's like right in front of my forehead right here. And then I see, I'm way up high. Okay, I'm usually down there, but now I'm up above it. So I'm seeing me down there and I'm up above me. And they're showing me Trump over there. I'm here. And they're showing like a stadium, sort of, but it's not a stadium. It's like a back, like a, reminds me of this thing that what's his name told me about, the guy that did Lawnmower Man. He's friends with Bill and Gail, and I met with him, and I remember him talking about how when they film virtual reality things, they have like these like dome things that they film them in so that they can then fill in the backgrounds of the virtual reality stuff. That's kind of what I'm seeing behind him, but then I'm also seeing myself behind that too. Okay, Peter's way down there. Jesus is right here. He says, "Dear child, as we step into this energy today, we bring unto you the knowing, the needing, and the wanting to understand what this reality is. For when you begin to understand what this reality is, you begin to become disillusioned yourself. You begin to wonder what is real, what is not real, what is real, what is not real, what is real, what is not real. And really, everything is real and everything is not real all at the same time. For you've chosen to live in a world where the Luciferian illusion is the reality in which you've fallen into. The Luciferian illusion is that which you have fallen into. The shining. Here, take her. God, here, hold on. Where's Bella? Here, take her. Hold on. We're gonna keep on there. Okay. Hi. Okay. All right. The illusion in which we have chosen to live in is, in essence, we have said this a million times to you, that we are living in a movie. You are living in a movie. Understand there's many layers to this. There's many dimensions to this. And the reality in which you're living is one that is in. Peter's like, let me try to explain this. He says, we're in lag time. So life has already happened. And then it's 3 days behind. And we're experiencing life in many different ways, in different dimensions, in different realities, because we are all knowing consciousness and awareness. He says, think about it like this. You live life and then you allow a piece of yourself to go back and live it all a bunch of different ways so that you can see what would have happened. And at any point you can choose to keep that as your life and ditch this life. So there's a constant redoing, remaking, rewriting, and that's just how it is. This is how consciousness works. And if you look at the theory of string theory, if you look at quantum physics in the way that works, in the way that the photons, the neutrons, the particles work, you'll see and understand that life is whatever you think life is when you get into a quantum state of mind. And the earth is getting into the point where the earth is in a quantum state of mind, whereby life is what you think it is. So understand this. When you look upon the computer box, when you look upon the television screen and you say, oh, that's real, that's real, that's real. It's something that is there to enhance your experience in this reality to make it into whatever it is that you want to make it into. Why do you watch one thing but you don't watch something else? It's because a piece of you is allowing you to watch it or not allowing you to watch it. What they're saying, they're calling me a clairvoyant. What this clairvoyant is seeing and understanding is the backdrops of the creation process of the reality show that is life, where it is a reality show in essence. And what you must begin to understand is that it can be quite beautiful indeed when you can begin to realize and understand that what you see is what you get, what you want to see is what you get, what you begin to feel in your heart as what you're wanting or needing in life, you'll begin to get. But if you continue to say, oh, my life is just going to be this way because it was that way before, you'll keep having the same thing happen because what you know is what you'll get. What you have to do is you have to begin to bring yourself into a place where you can, seriously, hold on.
Okay, brought her back to me again. Anyway, I was in the middle of the story. Marisa will come back and do some more channeling. But I think that God pulled a quick one on Lucifer by allowing Trump to be voted out. Anyway, whether
Yes,
he did it.
yeah, and what they're saying is that he needed to be taken out because he's still actually kind of in charge, in essence, still doing things, still working. And the thing is what they're showing me is that everybody that's in charge is like this part of this like galactic federation type of thing where people, they are in contact with beings that aren't from this earth, that aren't from this world. And the thing that I saw earlier, and they're showing it to me again, is this 3-fingered weird being, and they called it Doppelmayr, but I wanted to say doppelganger, like a double, and it was right above Elon Musk, and it has like its hand like on his head right there. And I was asking AI about it. I was like, okay, AI, this is what I saw. And AI actually said, well, it sounds like, you're saying doppelganger, which is a double, but I was thinking it's like Elon Musk's like alien self or something like that, and he's projected himself down here onto this planet. He's living this life. Because our souls are technically doing that. Our souls are projecting through us into this life to live in this life and experience this life, but are also somewhere else as well. So how can we say that that's not happening with other aspects of ourselves? It's so confusing. It makes my head want to explode. But what they're showing me right now is that there's one person behind Elon Musk, and that person I hear Doppelmayr or something like that. And then that's the only person above that man that's in charge of everything. And then you see beneath Elon Musk, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and I hear the four kings. And then beneath the four kings, I see the four queens. And beneath the four queens, I see only one Jack. And it's Jack. Remember, I used to see Jack all the time. So,
Yeah, put yourself on screen alone. We're skinny.
oh, sorry. There we go. Okay. Jack. Remember, I used to see Jack. Remember, we ran into that lady at the gas station. She was like, Jack. And she was talking about Jack.
Yeah. That was in Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jack to me was like either Satan or something like that. Like, yeah, Satan is Jack. Like the Jack right there that I'm seeing is Satan. So Satan's in charge, and then there's beings above Satan, and then below Satan I see Lucifer, and then I see Christ, like right there. Like it's not Jesus, it's like Melchizedek or something like that. And then beneath that, then I see Jesus, and then I see Earth, and then I see all the souls. And so it's like this layer of stuff. So they're saying what I'm seeing is not the actual reality. What I'm seeing is the fallen reality that people fall into when they fall into not the trap, but just kind of like everything on TV is real. Oh, okay. And they base their life based off what's on TV, or they base their life on you see people that just get too into sports, or they get too into something to where they're just like crazy over like the sports team, and they get in fights over the sports team. And this is someone who's fallen into the illusion that like that sports team actually cares about them. I mean, I have an aunt who is like crazy over this one American Idol singer. She like knows everything about him, and she like talks about him like she knows him and everything like that. And it's like he doesn't know her, but she like really like thinks that he's like, I mean, she doesn't really think he's one of her kids, but I mean, that's the way she talks about him, because she knows everything about him and has followed him since he was on American Idol. And people just get into these relationships with people in the media, and the media knows that that's the case, that that's going to happen. So what politics serves as is almost a form of people feeling a belonging, or feeling belonging to a group or belonging to a tribe in a world full of lots of tribes, where we can join all these little tribes. Like I'm black, I'm white, I'm Mexican, I'm rich, I'm poor, I drive this car, I drive that car, I work at this company, I don't work at all, I'm a bum, we identify with all these things on earth because that's what we came here to do, because over there we are sovereign beings, that we are everything and nothing all at the same time. So it's just all part of the charade, so to speak. Now, to say that Donald Trump is not real, that's not the case. What this channel is seeing in a simulation, so to speak, a simulation of energetic frequencies coming in to shift and change the program in which people are watching. So they're basically showing that it was edited. It looks like it's like live. The live feed is actually edited. It looks like. I'm asking, well, was he somewhere else or was he there? And they're saying he's there, but it's what's the word for it? It's like in real time edited. He's talking, and if they want to change what he says, they can just go and it changes what he says.
We're in the movie. We're in the game. This is just a big. We're like in a big video game. Is what we are. It sounds like.
Yeah, and I mean,
one other thing I wanted to check on, finishing up with Trump, is Kamala Harris met with Oprah Winfrey last night, and so I'd like to see if you can type in Winfrey and Harris, and take a look at that. Look and see what's happening around Oprah Winfrey and Kamala Harris.
Oh, Jesus. Oprah Winfrey and Kamala. Oh, that's from 1 hour ago. Tells Oprah
Yeah.
they're getting shot if somebody breaks into her home.
Yeah, that's just a little clip. You can use it. You can use that one. We're only going to watch a little clip of it anyway.
Oh, that's no, it's an ad. Let me see. Let me go into here. Stop sharing. Let me go into this. Okay, Kamala Harris and okay.
That didn't sound good.
Okay. Let me see. There it is.
Can you turn it up? Any way you can turn your...
The highest it is. Oh wait, no.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us. Everybody on screen, thank you. Thanks for joining us for this very special event. Unite for America!
See anything around Oprah?
And that's exactly what we're doing.
Satan?
Seriously?
Yeah, I see like a it's like a wave coming down into her. Like a and a blah. So it's weird. I see
Go forward. Go forward. Go forward about 5-10 minutes or whatever.
I see a pile of flesh like on the ground, and I see like this thing come down and like get in her and go like that and like animate itself. She must be channeling that energy.
Go forward. So I mean, right now we're way up.
I thought Oprah was good. Oh, there we go.
You know, where they're both sitting there close and talking to each other.
Yeah, here there.
Yeah. Okay. You start it.
Yeah, I hit play. It's just buffering, probably, I guess.
And one does not have to abandon their faith.
Right.
Or deeply held beliefs to agree the government should not be telling her what to do.
Absolutely.
Right? If she chooses, she will talk with her priest, her pastor, her rabbi, her imam, but not the government telling her what's in her best interest.
Well, this is a long healing process for this family. And we thank you, and we hope that by being amongst people who heard you and heard your daughter's story will be meaningful to you in this journey to healing. Thank you so much. Appalachian High School in Winder, Georgia.
I've had intruder drills.
An infection was loved.
It's a healthcare crisis. It's a healthcare crisis that affects the patient and the profession. And going back to Hadley's story, and Hadley, you've been so remarkable in telling your story and being so strong in the way you do it. And both of these stories really, I mean, the courage for out of pain.
This is the abortion. I know you don't like to talk about the abortion
Oh,
issue. Yeah, go forward or backward or whatever. Get off of that subject. Get on a different one. Because I know that one, your brain gets in the way.
It is important that we stand up for the integrity of poll workers and people who are working on election day. And that we also, and this is critically important, that we ask people to be alert about mis and disinformation, and we ask them, do not be afraid to vote. Because I think there is also something quite insidious about these attacks on the electorate in these various forms that are intended to convince people that their vote won't matter. And in that way, there's a little bit of reverse psychology going on here, and let's just make sure nobody falls for it. Your vote does matter,
Marisa?
and we cannot let anyone
I don't see
take
anything
our power from us. We can never let
anybody. I don't see anything necessarily bad about Kamala Harris. Like whenever I see her, I just see that it's just she's just there, just talking. I do see her getting like rehearsing things or going off what they're telling her to say. But here on Oprah, she's not listening to anything or having anybody talk in her ear. Just normal, but Oprah looked freaky. I've never seen that before. I thought Oprah was supposedly like a good person.
Go up or back or something to get just Oprah talking instead of Kamala Harris?
You're the one who told me. Remember, Chris and I ran into each other this summer, and Chris,
Yeah,
no
leave
matter
it
where
there.
you meet him, he's funny. He's go.
There are a bunch of celebrities.
There's going to
there
be
last night.
weeping in the streets. Are we ready for the weeping in the
Why does
streets?
it keep doing that? Oh,
When
okay.
Kamala
They're
Harris
doing it.
becomes president of the United States of America.
So when I was wrapped up with all the people in the production, but she was one of the people, and then there was other people that were like not being paid, but not being kind of like blackmailed into like doing the Kamala Harris thing. And that's when I was like, oh, that's so shady up there. I can't even believe that they're doing that.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I was talking about how I knew that agent up in Hollywood back during the last election, and they were like basically making somebody making the person that owned the production company that do a whole bunch of like promotions for Kamala Harris and for Joe Biden, and it was kind of like if he didn't do it, he was going to be in trouble or whatever. So it's like kind of like, well, no, you're going to stick up for it. You're going to say that this person can win because you're a celebrity, and if you want to stay a celebrity, then that just needs to happen. So those people up there, like, they don't really have any choice. They just have to do whoever tells them.
Who's they? Who's they?
I don't know. Let me see.
I hate pronouns. I hate pronouns. When you say they just want whatever. Who's they?
The Illuminati. I just heard.
Okay, you're referring to maybe negative forces or something. Yeah.
Well, are the Illuminati real people, or I thought they were just spiritual beings? I just heard.
No, it's a real organization.
We are the Illuminati. We are the four kings, the four queens, and the Jack. We are the Illuminati. And okay, interesting. They're saying that the energies of that which lie ahead are those that we shine light upon, or as we mean to shine light on, to illuminate. We illuminate the screens in which you watch. We illuminate and bring to life that which is not life, that which is not real. We bring to life so that you may emote and feel and generate experiences based on what we bring forth unto the eyes that you carry within your own mind. So understand that when one is incarnated on this planet, you choose to live on this planet whereby screens are detrimental to your health. They're detrimental to everything, but they are also part of the experience. Prior to screens, there wasn't the experience that you could have as you are having at this point in time right now on planet Earth right now. But it's also what's keeping people from moving forward. It's keeping people from moving forward within themselves, about themselves, because their focus is on all these other people outside of them rather than on themselves. So the way that one can get past the illumination of that which is the false realities in which you see is ask how you're relating to this. Ask what your experience is that is similar to that which you are noticing on the television, and use this as an ascension tool rather than, this is Jesus coming in, as an ascension tool rather than as a bad habit of just watching other people. And when you're when you're in middle schools and when you're in high school, you enjoy the gossip and this person's doing this and this person's doing that. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing, except you're not in school anymore. You're an adult. You're watching it on the television box and you're going, ooh, this person's doing that. And that person's with this person and that person's with that. But why? Why does one care? Because you're bored, because you don't have anything to do within your own self, because you don't want to focus on yourself. So what you must do is find within yourself what it is that you are most concerned with. Many people say, well, I'm concerned about freedom. I'm concerned about the United States having this, and that. Well, whatever is going to happen is going to happen regardless of who's in charge. We'll just say that now. Regardless of who is in charge, the same thing is going to happen because the same spiritual energies are entering into the world at this time. So understand that getting upset, getting worked up, thinking that the world's coming to an end, thinking that things are going to get bombed and destroyed and all of these things, this is a fear factor. This is a way to get people overly emotional, overly worked up, to keep them from ascending. So there's the group that wants to not ascend. There's the group that wants to ascend. The ones that don't want to ascend, they don't want to leave their loved ones behind. They don't want to leave their earthbound spirits behind. They don't want to leave anyone behind. They don't want to leave anyone behind. Just as the books you were speaking of the other day, Left Behind. They don't want to leave anyone behind. They want to gather everyone up and take them with them. So it's not they want to stay behind because they're bad. They want to stay behind to get everybody. And then there's those that want to ascend and leave this earth and leave this place and leave this space and leave this reality completely and let the others deal with it themselves, knowing and understanding that those are just fragments of self. Those aren't even self, but those selves, just like the reflections in the mirror that we were speaking of yesterday, those think that they're you, just like you think you're you, but you're not you. You are a reflection of your higher self. Your higher self is the one looking in the mirror, and then there you are, and you say, "Oh, I'm me. I'm myself, and that's me, and that's I'm the real me." Look at yourself with a mirror in front and a mirror behind you today, and look at all the reflections of self, and see and understand how many yous there are through all the different mirrors of time, through all the different spaces and places, and the way that you can get into that authentic you is through Christ into the Father, and then that is when you then enter into your true self, and that true self can have full access over your entire physical body, because this physical body was created by God to embody God and to fully encompass God, and for God to be able to have a full experience through these bodies. And these bodies are very capable of this, but in a fallen state, the bodies only have 100 years they can only live 100 years. They can't live beyond that because the bodies believe that that's what the bodies have within them. And that was created mostly in part by the biblical many of the biblical writings brought in this belief that you are not eternal anymore. You don't live a long time. There's this fallen world that you've been living in since like the fall of man. So understand that as you rise up, ask to rise up, say in your prayers, please, Christ, rise me up out of this reality where there's duality. Rise me up because I want to not be in pain. I want to not hurt. I want to not have people not like me. I want to get along with my family members. I want to be with the person I'm supposed to be with. I want to be around the people I'm supposed to be with. If I'm not supposed to be around these people that I'm around, then bring me to the people I'm supposed to be around. But we're stubborn and we say, no, I want it my way. I want it my way. I want it my way because it's comfortable. But understand that sometimes God brings new things into us. And when God's bringing new things into us, we must accept them with grace and with ease, and understand and know that God has got our back. So if you are stuck in a situation, if you're living in a situation now where you just don't like your situation, ask that God bring God's grace into you authentically through your authentic self, and you'll begin to feel and see and know and understand what you should be doing. That was Jesus. And
that's amazing.
Me, and
I love that.
Big. Interesting.
There's one more thing for our news before we finish up today. The Secret Service had a press conference today. I'm real curious to see if you see anything around this head of the Secret Service. If you could type in Secret Service press, what do they call it? My head's going crazy. Press conference. Secret Service press conference, 9:20.
5 hours ago?
Yeah, about 5 hours ago. See if you can pull him up. I'm very curious. He took over after the first assassination attempt. There was a lady that was the head of the Secret Service, and she literally had to quit the next day out of disgrace. And this guy's taken over, and he has not been cooperative with the American people. He hasn't been bringing the information in, and so he was finally shamed into having a press conference today. So anyway, I'd just kind of like to see if this guy is a good guy, a bad guy, if there's good forces around him, bad forces. You have no idea who he is. I don't really know who he is other than what I've seen on TV. But do you have him? Did you find him?
Yeah. Oh, he's not pulled up. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's pulled up on screen. There's that squiggly thing that I saw in Oprah inside of him.
Well, get onto the screen first so people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's right here.
And let him talk for a while, and then see if you see anything. Yeah, that's him. Turn up the sound.
Demonstrated on Sunday in West Palm Beach. Threat level is evolving and requires this paradigm shift. But here are some of the findings from this mission assurance review.
He has the same squigglies as Oprah.
With respect to command and control of the site in Butler, Pennsylvania, the Secret Service has the main responsibility of building the site plan We cannot abdicate or defer our responsibilities to others. Advance team personnel have an obligation to ensure that each site meets the protective requirements and principles of Secret Service methodologies. The Secret Service did not give clear guidance or direction to our local law enforcement partners.
So somebody threatened him and his family.
Somebody's threatening him and his family?
Yeah.
There were
I do
communication
not doubt it.
deficiencies between law
Yeah, him and his family. So he's saying whatever he needs to say to make himself safe.
enforcement personnel at the site. For example, the Secret Service did not co-locate its security room with local law enforcement.
Not true.
There was an over-reliance on mobile devices, resulting in information being siloed. For example, at approximately 1810 local time, Secret Service informed personnel that local police were addressing an issue at the 3 o'clock of the outer perimeter. At approximately 1810 local time, by a phone call, the Secret Service security room calls the counter sniper response agent reporting an individual on the roof of the AGR building. That vital piece of information was not relayed over the Secret Service radio network. At approximately 1810 and 54 seconds, verified through body camera footage of local law enforcement, officers confront the assailant on the roof of the AGR building. At 1811:05, by a phone call, a site agent calls the assistant site agent to find out what exactly is going on at the 3 o'clock, and during that call, shots ring out. At 1811:32, verified through body camera footage, the first series of shots are fired by the assailant. At 1811:36, again verified through body camera footage, a second series of shots are fired by the assailant. At 1811:47, through body camera footage, Secret Service counter snipers neutralized the threat.
11 seconds after the last
With respect
shot.
to diligence,
Can you
line of
pause it
sight
now?
issues were acknowledged, but not properly mitigated. Issues were encountered the day of the visit.
I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm just hearing true, not true, true, not true, true, not true in my head. So I'm saying it true and not true. So I'm shaking my head.
He has been now forced with today's press conference to come out and give a report to the American people as to how they screwed up. And he's saying, we screwed up, we screwed up, we screwed up, we screwed up. And that's basically what was in there. So that's why I wanted to see if you saw anything from the other side around him. But I think you kind of answered it. Right now he's just a tool.
Yeah. Let me see who's above him. Because if I see who's above him, I'll see who. It's that Fed thing again. FED.
Well, he's Fed, that's for sure. He's the federal
Fed,
government.
like Federal Reserve, like the money bank. The Fed.
Well, the Secret Service is tied in with the Treasury and also the Homeland Security. So they have kind of a dual role to go after counterfeiters, and the other is to, of course, to protect.
Who's in charge of the Fed, though?
Here, bring us big, or bring that.
Who's in charge of the Fed? Let me see. Let me look.
The president.
The president.
The president is the head of the federal government. The bureaucracy belongs to.
What about the place that they borrowed it from? The Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve isn't even part. That's where your Rothschilds and your Rockefellers.
That's what I'm saying. The David Rothstein or whatever, and I see the Fed, and that's who's ruling Trump. That's who's like not puppeting him, but that's who's pushing him like out there. Like it's the Fed, the Federal Reserve. Like it's not the federal government, it's the Federal Reserve. And then above the Federal Reserve is where I see the four kings, and then I see the weird hand above Elon Musk. I see Elon Musk. I see some like Israeli people, you know, with the things on their heads, like real like sheiks or something like that, or they're like very like wealthy, like super like beyond wealthy. Like are they called sheiks? I don't know what a sheik is, but it's
in
like
Saudi Arabia, they wear the head
the robes or whatever,
and,
with a little rope around their head. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like Elon Musk, and I'm seeing like 1, 2 of those like chic people, and then I'm seing like Donald Trump kind of sitting there almost like at a job interview, like talking to them. And and then beneath that I see that those four kings thing, which I guess that's the Illuminati or whatever. I don't know. No, yeah, no, I don't know. Anyways, there's that spiritual structure, and then I see the Fed, and then I see the Fed above and below. The Fed is like what's in charge. So whoever owns the Fed is who's in charge. But what they're showing is, so if we go into like a 5D consciousness and awareness where we can manifest whatever we want whenever we want, we won't need money, right? Because money won't be required, because we can just be like, oh.
Well, that's kind of funny, because Elon Musk and Trump have gotten together, and Trump stopped in. I wish we could find a way to bring it up, but Trump made an unscheduled stop at a little crypto store. And Trump is really going to get into crypto. So I don't understand much about crypto at all. And I think
Elon Musk drives that market. Elon Musk totally drives the market.
Yeah, because cryptocurrency will wipe out the Fed.
Oh, okay.
Because people will be using a different form of means to buy and sell services and products. So they'll be bypassing the money system of the Federal Reserve and the American system of money.
4D than 5D. So cryptocurrency is, again,
I don't know anything about
it. It's AI. It's all AI stuff. It's all computer generated. It's all matrixy stuff. It's like, it's not real. It's real, but it's not real. It's like you
can't hold it. You can't hold it. It's all electronic.
And so
I think
that's where Elon Musk is trying to take us into, is computer generated everything, like everything computer generated, everything. So it's almost like wanting to take us into like a gamer game, like from anywhere from the Neuralink thing to having AI in your brain to everything. It's like, it's all about like bringing the computers into us and bringing the everything all like AI instead of Christ. Oh, it's AI instead of Christ consciousness. So Christ consciousness would be like the soul consciousness, the human consciousness, the emotions, the feelings. And then there's the other consciousness, which is like the AI, the artificial intelligence, or the alien intelligence without the human emotions. But it's not like a lack of it's not evil. It's just not like all, oh, I want to die. It's just very logical, very just, oh, okay, this is how it's happening. This is how it is. And that's how many other planets are. What they're saying is that those are more like 6-dimensional planets. And the fact that Elon Musk talks about Mars, wants to go there, it's just a different reality and a different world and a different place and different space where our planet is in essence going to, where we could be in contact with that planet. So the world is completely changing. I'm like getting mad at them. I'm like, I'm sounding insane. They said you are sounding crazy, but when people look back, they'll go, oh, she knew it. She kind of was understanding what she was talking about, but she didn't really get it. So it's like all the little tidbits that are coming in. It's just like everything's starting to go back to the way it was during COVID. The cryptocurrency was huge. Everybody went into the digital realm. The reason why much of the reason why COVID happened was to shove people into their houses, into their computers. Everybody was on the computer. Everyone was on the internet. Everyone was buying online. People lost the ability to work for cash anymore. Nobody could work for cash and just go, oh, here, let me just give you cash for this, because you weren't in contact with them. You had to send it through PayPal. You had to send it through the banks where they could document everything. So everything is electronically tracked and traced, and everything that you do, everything that you see and know and experience and talk about is all digitally somewhere on some digital drive that's recording the reality in which we're living in, whereby we can then, if the earth gets destroyed, we can then go back and live in that reality because it's all been recorded. So it's a very complicated, hard thing to explain because it's all in the Luciferian world. Now, if you go into the world where we are Christed, where we are Christ, where we are I am presence, where we are the Holy Spirit, where we are in the Father, we are no longer in this fallen Illuminati world with Trump and Elon Musk and cryptocurrency and this and that and worrying about all these things. We are in an enlightened, awakened state where we can enjoy this beautiful earth in which we are living on, the beautiful nature, the water, the air, all these things. You don't enjoy air when you're on a computer in a virtual reality game. You don't enjoy the oxygen. You don't enjoy the water. You don't enjoy the sandy beaches. You think you're feeling that. You think you're looking at it, and it's just all pure eye candy, so to speak. It's just looking at it and thinking that this is an experience, and it's activating all the chemicals in the brain to make you think that these things are happening, but they're not. They're not really happening. It's not real. It's not a real experience. It's a false experience. And this is why we are come down on they were talking about me, about the children with the video games and too many video games. They're receiving false signals in their brain that they're getting this out of this game. Their brain gets this, their pleasure centers get hit. They go, oh, dopamine in my brain. Oh, wow, I just had a great experience, when really they've just been sitting in a chair. So there's some people that believe that, great, we'll be a virtual reality type people, and we'll sit in our chairs and we'll experience life through these virtual reality machines, and we'll experience all the things that we could experience not in the machines, but better. We could skydive, and we can go on vacation. We can go on a 3-week vacation in a minute. And while we're in these virtual reality machines, we can trick the brain into thinking this, but do you really want that? Many people do. Others would say, no, I want to actually skydive myself. I actually want to experience it myself. What's the difference? No difference. No difference whatsoever, other than the fact that you physically do it or you don't physically do it, because the mind thinks it's the exact same thing. So when you enter into these states where you don't know the difference between reality and non-reality, you know you've entered into a world that's in a state where it's about to ascend, because it's that close. It's this close. So the Antichrist energies with the Illuminati, Elon Musk, all these things in this false reality, you can fall into that, or you can continue to follow your heart, be within yourself, the emotions, the feelings, feel your emotions, feel your feelings, ask for Christ, ask for God, ask for the love of the Father to enter into you, and ask how you want to experience this life, because either way, one's not good and one's not bad. They just are. They're just different ways of ascending through reality, different ways of ascending, same outcome, same outcome. You always end up back with the Father. You always end up back with the Father.
Who are you channeling? Who are you channeling?
That was Michael. And
Wow.
That was Michael.
Wow. Michael, for those of you who don't quite understand, if you've never read the Urantia book, which really explains it well, Michael created our universe, and he is Christ. And when Michael wanted to become a human being, he did it a few times, but the first time, maybe he did it before then too, before our history books. But he was Adam, and he fell into the movie. But then he also came back as Jesus Christ. So Michael, the creator of our universe, became a man. And so anyway, when Marisa says it was Michael, we're kind of talking to the boss, folks. I mean, seriously, that's the boss. So pay attention to what Marisa has to say. Okay, we can either wrap up after about an hour and 20 minutes.
They're waiting for me out there, so I got to go out. The kids have knocked a few times. So I'm like, okay.
Okay, well, listen, have a great weekend, and things will happen over the weekend, and we'll pick it up again on Monday, and we'll see what the cosmos has to say
so crazy. It's so weird.
Our local news.
But what the guys are saying is that if you guys weren't talking about the news, we wouldn't be talking about such strange things. If you were talking about philosophy of the soul, like the Bible, all these things that are set in stone back then, books, things of this sort. But you're tuning into media, and not all the media is realistic media. Mostly all the media is edited. So these guys up at top retain the ability to edit anything that anybody says on air, because they own the media, right? So there's Lucifer, these two guys, and then there's those kings and whatever. It's just this hierarchy. It looks like a little diamond hierarchy of people, and they could even edit. Can they edit what we say? They can even edit what we say. They can edit anything. I don't know how, but they can edit anything that anybody says anywhere on any
in real time. In real time.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're 3 days ahead.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they can go back and go, okay, let's change that. I don't think we've ever had anything of ours edited, but I mean, it makes sense that, I watch AI. AI now scans my classes. As I'm teaching my class, it's writing a summary of what I'm talking about. Marisa now wants you to do this, 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 and this. And it's like this long scrolling thing. And when I'm done teaching my class, I have a transcript, a summary, a thesaurus, like a syllabus, like everything for the class that I've taught on Wednesday night through Zoom. Zoom has an AI in it. So if that
Wow.
can do that in that amount of time and just boom, 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 send out like a description of my class and basically market it for me and write all that up in real time before it can even like process my video so I can post the video, then they can do that with anything. I mean, like the guide said, they said we're at Chat GPT like 40 or whatever, and it's really 4.0 or whatever 40, like the third version of Chat GPT. And the government, they're saying if you want to call it like we're in the third version of Chat GPT, the government has Chat GPT 1,296,423, and they've had 1989.
That's a big gap.
1989, just think 1989.
Wow.
Everything, like there's been like
35 years ago.
We didn't have cell phones then, did we? No computers.
Yeah, in 1989. Yeah, don't you remember I had that the first one that was a flip phone? Gosh, I mean, I would go into your softball games.
Big old flip phone. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was a big gray one. Remember?
Yeah,
And then I'd open it up, and I was like, everybody would look at me because I had the smallest phone. Everybody else had big bricks. They had a brick, you know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was like Nokia or AT&T or something. Well, those phones had AI in them.
Wow, even back then.
They've had them in there from the very beginning. And it's not necessarily like, oh, the government's watching us and they're going to do this, this, and this. It's just data collection.
Money.
Yeah.
To make money. It's all money. It always comes down to money.
Yep.
Okay, Marisa, well, listen, the kids are waiting. Go have a good weekend. Okay. And if anything else happens, I'll let you know. But we'll see each other back on Monday, everybody.
Yep.
We'll see y'all on Monday. And like and subscribe, please.
Yeah, like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Okay, we'll see you on Monday.